have room of sockets and outlets for a laptop if you needed. And so in my crew quarters, I have a bracket on here and a laptop computer, and it's very convenient, and I can read my books at night. It's great. So that's the crew quarters. It's not very noisy inside. There's a nice fan. It's pretty comfortable. I get very good sleep there. So now we're going into the Destiny Laboratory, headed aft on the space station. And there's my crewmate, Sandy Magnus. She's getting her exercise in for today. And I'd like to show you a little bit of our equipment here. This rack is the oxygen generation system, and we have a few too many things on this rack, and we're in the middle of cleaning it off, not to interfere, but you can see oxygen. We're making oxygen, and when we make oxygen, we're breaking down water into hydrogen and oxygen, and the oxygen comes right out here. The water we're making either comes from the condensate from the air conditioning system, the water that's in the air, or urine. So this is a really neat regenerative life support system. This is our toilet number 2. We haven't quite gone there yet, so to speak, but it's all set up and it is ready to go. There's where you can do number 2. And don't worry, I won't show you anything you're not supposed to see. And there's a place for number 2. And number 1 goes in a big funnel right here. Now we're say, well, there's no privacy here, and there isn't because we haven't put out the cabin. The cabin's going to stick out really far. Speaking out, sticking out far, because the cabin's going to stick out far, we've actually moved the CVIS over with the brackets called crab brackets because it actually moved the crabs it off to the side. This is the WRS rack number 1, and it works closely in conjunction with WRS rack number 2. WRS stands for Water Recovery System. On top of the Water Recovery System rack number 2, we have the Total Organic Carbon Analyzer, the TOCA, and we have a spot to take a urine tank and a YEDEBU using a compressor. We send the urine through here, and then it goes into the urine processing assembly, which is not working perfectly right now. So also, that's for the urine that comes from the Russian segment from our main toilet. But this other toilet that we just saw, the urine can come from there directly into here. It gets distilled and processed to pure water, which we can drink, or it can be made into oxygen or used for other things. Here's a new thing also that we got was the Express rack number 6. Which one of my favorite things on this rack cold drinks inside and keep things cold, which is the first time in a long time that we've had something like this on station. So you can see it's not very much room, but it's enough. It's definitely enough. Also, we have a glacier freezer. That's not for food, it's for biological samples. And we also have a potable water dispenser, which isn't certified for use yet, but in the future, this is what we're going to be able to have fill our drink bags and rehydrate our food from here. That's on the ceiling, by the way. We can definitely use 3 dimensions in space, so even though this is a big space station, it's even bigger because we use the ceiling and the floors also. This is the robotics workstation for the laboratory module. This is where we do our robotics from. You can see that we have our monitors here. We even have potential to put 2 more monitors when the shuttle comes, so we have a lot of views. eventually, in the next year or so, we're going to have the cupola on our next node, node 3, and the cupola will be able to look outside. It has a lot of very beautiful windows, and then we have a robotics workstation. This one, the cupola robotics workstation, that'll fit there. We have a lot of computers everywhere. We have a printer, old-fashioned, but it works. And now we're going to go back into one of the first modules, node 1, which is also called Unity. This thing that's kind of blocking our view is the Advanced Resistive Exercise Device, and it's we put it together recently, and we're still checking it out. It still needs to be calibrated, but once it gets calibrated, we'll be exercising here every day. And it's big. This is a really huge device, but it also can give twice as much chances to work out. I think most people would say that the IRED, the interim resistive exercise device, you can maybe go up to 200 or 300 pounds. This one has the potential to go up to 600 pounds. So you can get much bigger loads. It works by using a vacuum system, so you can see these two big vacuum canisters right up here. And you can see as I float backwards in the node 1 here, you can see how big the ARED is and how much it takes, how much room it takes up. And this is its stowed configuration. On the floor we have, and we're trying to change this because I don't think this is the best place, but everything in the space station world needs to be negotiated, and that's okay. We're not in a hurry, even though we're going fast. This is our pond, or wall of water that's down here. We have different kinds of water, and these are called contingency water containers, CWCs. And you can see different kinds. There's water that you can drink, and water that you can use for other things like flush water or generating oxygen. Now here's the airlock. As we go, the Quest airlock. I'll turn on some lights as we get in there, and usually we don't go in here every day. We do try to keep it fairly clean, and I'm in the middle of doing an inventory for the 15A crew as they come up here. The airlock is one of the few USOS, American-style modules that doesn't have a single light switch. You have to turn on every light as you need. But from here, many EVAs, extravehicular activity spacewalks, have been conducted. There's in the back of this room, this crew lock is a hatch that goes outside into space. So you can see that hatch right there. In the meantime, we're kind of storing EVA-related things here. You can see this is a safer, which is a kind of a jet backpack that we wear on the outside of our spacesuits in case we get separated from the spaceship. We can fly our way back in. Safer's pretty neat. The Russian spacesuits, which are many good things about them, but they don't have a safer. So this is all of our stuff as we're getting ready for STS-119. You can see already starting a tool bag. Usually, again, everything's spread out more than it usually is, but we're putting together mini workstations for Swanee and Ricky and Joe as they get ready to go outside. So that's what the airlock looks like at the moment. Now, Node 1, originally brought up in on STS-88, Node 1 is getting kind of crowded, and but there's also a lot of good places for storage. Here's our toolbox, one of my favorite places to go every day, and I have to go every day to the toolbox. We have a zero-G storage rack. The kind of things we have in here are computer parts. Usually we have some lithium hydroxide canisters that the shuttle leaves on here in case we have a shuttle contingency. We throw away all of our empty food containers in here. And as we float up on the ceiling, we have a lot of places where we keep our office kind of things, paper, pens, things like that, as well as tools and scope meters.